So I'm creating a new project to demonstrate how to use the JavaScript Executor. New project, sorry, my bad. File, new project. Create a simple one. Next, artifact ID is com.vikas.training. Group ID and the artifact ID is today is 20th August 2016, and JavaScript Executor. I created a project. This is one. Close. Oh. Adding dependency to selenium and dependency. Alright. Close it. Adding a class. SRC test Java. Class name. Let's say test navigation. I'm creating a package. Just test. Okay. Go to the website. Sorry. Okay, so if you have noticed, if I put my mouse over a forecast, it is going to open a subnap. Okay, now let's say I wanted to reproduce this situation, but before that, let's inspect forecast element. Okay. Okay, I don't see anything, I don't see any JavaScript calling method here. Okay, let's take some other example. Maybe on mouse over it's called, we already created some applications, right, to demonstrate JavaScript. So let's open batch folder, batch 8, right? HTML WebDriver first program. I don't see examples. Have we created some example on the event? July, 17th of July. I don't know where I have saved it. 16th July, HTML form, here. Let's see. Okay, I don't think I have applied a JavaScript somewhere. Register. No, JavaScript is not added. Okay, let's take some other example. Let's go to batch 9. HTML session 2. HTML JS session 3. Registration.html. Okay. I applied some JavaScript. So first name, email address is something. Okay. So if you put your mouse over, you can see at the status bar some messages coming up, right? So enter password here, enter email ID here, enter last name here. Okay. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to simulate some actions. So that's my URL, page URL, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this page. The initial status is this. Okay, and I wanted to check whether this message is getting displayed when I put my mouse over this text box. Okay, let's try to understand the behavior internally. So what I wrote, id is equal to f name, on change is equal to validate first name. Okay, this is one thing. Validate first name. This is another JavaScript function. On mouse out is again another function. So what it is doing, set information message is empty. Let's say I put my mouse over here. So on mouse over, the method is set information message, please enter first name here. So whenever I'm putting my mouse over, it is setting a message. What message? Please enter first name here. If I move my mouse from this text box, it is calling mouse out event on mouse out, and mouse out is setting an empty message. Okay, but I can just skip through this user simulation, user actions, and directly call the JavaScript methods. Okay, let's say I wanted to call the JavaScript method validate first name directly. So okay, let's call first this message on mouse over. So what is the message? Set information message is equal to please enter first name. So going to the console and just calling that function here. See, enter. Can you see that message here? Even though if I put my mouse anywhere, this message will be displayed. Fine. But if I go here and if I again mouse out, if I do a mouse out, then it is going to set an empty message, right? This is the behavior of application. But by just calling the JavaScript, by executing some JavaScript, you can actually do some operations with your page. Not necessary it will be only set information message. आप ये भी कर सकते हैं document dot get element by id f name dot value is equal to, let's say, Vikas. So see, I set the name in the text box. What is the name? Vikas, and it is there. You can see in the text box as well. Vikas is set, but the problem is still that explanation mark is displayed. The reason is मैंने कैसे सेट किया विकास को? Using a JavaScript, not with user simulation action. That means type. So if I'm setting some value with this text box, the built-in JavaScript method will not be called. So you can use you can explicitly call this JavaScript method. So that JavaScript method you can call like I'm calling this method here only. So validate first name. I will just say enter and see that explanation mark is gone. That error mark is gone. This is explicitly calling the JavaScript method to deal with your page. Is this clear? Okay. So we already have sent keys method to type a text box, and that will automatically invoke the JavaScript. But let's say maybe some reason it is not working, and you are using a workaround, that is using a JavaScript. You are trying to set a value. So if you are setting a value using a JavaScript, it is not actually going to call your this JavaScript methods, validate first name and those things. So you may need to call it explicitly again. So let's learn how to invoke a JavaScript in the WebDriver. So the whole objective of this video is to learn how do we invoke a JavaScript in WebDriver script. WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver I'm going to call. Okay, let me check which version of Selenium am I using. I am using Selenium 2.53.1. I would like to use the latest version of Selenium, that is 3.0.0 hyphen. Let me check what is the latest version I have into. This is the latest version I have in my Maven. So let's put that Maven version here. Alright, let's go back. You need to set a Gecko driver path as we are using Selenium 3. My bad guys, sorry, I forgot to write a test case process. Test with void, what I want to do test is, okay, or learn or execute JS in WebDriver demo. This is what we are going to do, system dot set property. The property name is Gecko.driver and the path to Gecko.exe file. That you can get it from anywhere. So driver slash Gecko driver. It's my. Alright, now I'm good to launch Firefox driver. Okay, this is going to launch driver. Driver.get and the URL is // Okay, I already copied that URL. It is not HTTP URL. It is file // URL, as I am opening the file from my local system. Alright. Okay, driver.get is done. The next task is invoke a JavaScript invoke a JavaScript to set value in the first name. Okay, so what was the JavaScript? This is it. This is the JavaScript, right? Document.get element by ID, name, and I wanted to set value as a Vikas. So there is an interface, JavaScript Executor. It's the interface coming from Watch's OpenCure Selenium package. I'm creating a reference variable of it, executor equal to, we need to typecast the driver, we need to typecast the driver. JavaScript Executor. In the last session, I think, I don't remember actually. I already gave you explanation on this line, right? See, this driver is the object of what class? No, it is the object of Firefox driver. And Firefox driver class also implements JavaScript Executor. So the same object is also implementing JavaScript Executor. So I am referring the same object as a reference to the JavaScript Executor. So this is allowed. And on this executor, I will call a method execute. The second method, execute script. Pass on the script. You can pass any JavaScript which you generally execute on this console. Okay. So that script I passed to this method. Only one change. To this double quote, you can give a single quote slash backward slash double quote. You can change it, or you can move it. You can change it to single quote instead of double quote. Okay. So let's run the script now. I'm closing the existing WebDriver session to avoid confusion. Let's run. Okay. See, Vikas is set, but the problem is this question mark did not went away. Okay, the reason is the mechanism to hide this question mark or to validate the first name is not called. I directly executed a script that is going to set a value to my text box, but it is not invoking the validate first name method. So we need to again explicitly call that function. So the same object I will call another method. So which method I wanted to call? See, let's inspect it so you can see which method name. Method name is onChange. Validate first name is the method. Okay, that onChange event was not called because we are setting the value using a JavaScript. So after executing this JavaScript, I'm again calling a JavaScript function, that is validate first name. So let's run it again. Now this time it should set Vikas, and then that error message, or that that error icon should be went away, should go away. Let's see. So Vikas is called, but still there is an error, I think. Let me debug a script. Maybe the execution is very fast. I'm closing the existing browsers. Let's debug. Right click on it. Okay, switching to debug view. That's my browser. And this is my case. So let's execute the first line. F6 is the shortcut key that will execute the one line, right? Okay, and now executing the validate first name. Oops, it throwed exceptions. I don't know what is the exception. So let's read what is that exception. Go and read the exception. So what it says, reference error, validate first name is not defined. Okay, let me open a console. Go to console. Validate email is there, validate first name is also there, and it's a method. Okay, it is working from the console. Yeah, undefined, it means that function is not returning anything, so that return value is undefined. Okay, I added a semicolon. I'm saying return. So this may help. Let's see. Close the browser and right click, debug again, debug as test. Okay, execute first line, F6. Executing second line. So throw again an exception. F8. Let's see what's that exception. Reference error, validate first name is not defined. I don't know why it's not working, but this should work. Let's download the Selenium version because I am also testing the newer version, 2.53.1. and previous window, debug as the test. F6 and another. Okay. So as you can see, with the older version of Selenium 2.53.1, the same code is perfectly working. But in case of Selenium 3, it is not able to recognize that function. Okay. So let's give another try. Okay, I'm going to try one more option. So you can invoke the same method using document dot no window dot validate first name. So this is another way to invoke this method because this JavaScript methods are binded to window. Okay, so let's give a try and see whether it works or not. So window dot validate first name with the newer version, because obviously with the older version this is going to work. I wanted to check with the newer version. So okay, I'm executing this line to set a value of 6, and next line is return window dot validate. Oh, still it doesn't work. So this is another bug with the Selenium 3 beta 2 version. Alright, so we learn how do we okay, let's roll back to the older version because that is working. Okay, let's run the same thing again. This is going to work. Okay, fine. So there is one more thing I wanted to tell you in executing a JavaScript. So how did we locate an element in this JavaScript, guys? Tell me. Using document.getElement by ID, right? This is the way we are using a JavaScript to locate an element. Let's say you already have that web element object. Let's say you wanted to find the web element with the XPath. Can I write XPath directly in a JavaScript? Can I say document.getElement by XPath and write XPath directly here? No, I can't, because JavaScript only gives me some option, some predefined option. So those are, document dot get element by ID, get elements by class name, elements by name, elements by tag name, elements by tag name NS. Only these options are available. You can't locate element with the CSS selector. You can't locate element with the XPath selector. XPath. Got it? So let's say you wanted to use an XPath for locating this element. Okay, just assume you need to use an XPath to locate this element. So try a web element txt first name equal to driver dot find element by dot XPath, and the XPath you are going to write here. So the XPath will be attribute name is ID equal to the value is f name. Okay, f name, right? And this locator I wanted to pass instead of this one. So you can write arguments with 0, and then you can pass on here that element as a second parameter to this method. So what was that element? Txt first name. Okay. Okay, I'm going to run this script now. Right click, run as test.ge. Test. Okay, our browser is launched, and see it worked because it's set in the browser. So you can use both the ways. Let's say you wanted to execute a purely JavaScript, you can do that. This is an example of executing a purely JavaScript. And let's say you want to set a web element, on this element value equal to, because this is what you have to do. You can pass that web element object using arguments of 0, arguments of 1, arguments of 2, like that. You can have n number of parameters. So let's say there is another element. Just assume there is another element you wanted to use in a script. Let's say txt, or let's say btn click So after this JavaScript, I'm just adding a semicolon, and I'm writing arguments of one dot click. So it's like first set the Vikas to the text box value, and second is clicking on that button, the button, whichever button we are passing here. Okay, but this has to be located. Okay, fine. Hope you understood what I'm trying to tell you. So that's all. You can use your own web elements inside a JavaScript. This is what I wanted to demonstrate. Is this clear? Okay.